Welcome back to A Moment in History. I'm Seth Udinsky. In 2009, an airplane was making a routine flight in the skies above New York City. But a freak accident happened in the sky, severely damaging the plane and forcing the pilot to make a critical choice with little time to think. The pilot chose to make a daring decision to save his passengers, execute a successful water landing on the Hudson River. It was extremely dangerous, but the outcome was extremely miraculous. Let's explore one of the most incredible aviation rescues in history, the miracle on the Hudson. Now, the hero of this story is Captain Chesley Sullenberger, also known as Sully. Captain Sully was a well-trained and experienced pilot in 2009. His aviation career began in the U.S. military as he was a pilot in the U.S. Air Force as a young man. In 1980, he began flying commercial flights for Pacific Southwest. For the next 30 years, he logged many hours and thousands of miles of airtime. Well, his training and skill would end up saving over 150 lives on the afternoon of January 15, 2009. At roughly 3:25 in the afternoon, Captain Sully piloted United Airways Flight 1549 off the runway at LaGuardia International Airport in New York City. What was planned as a routine flight became a terrifying life-or-death situation when, barely 2 minutes into the flight, a flock of geese collided with the plane's engines, taking them both out and severely limiting Sully's ability to fly the plane any higher. With over 150 lives at stake, Sully had a choice to make. Either attempt to make it back to a New York City or North Jersey airport, or land the plane another way. With the plane quickly losing altitude and Sully risking losing control, he made the daring choice to land the plane on the Hudson and perform a water evacuation. Now, his precision had to be perfect because if the plane did not land level on the water, it could spiral out of control and likely kill everyone on board in a crash. Sullenberger brought the plane down on the Hudson River, having kept the plane miraculously intact. But his work was not over. On a cold January day, it was imperative to evacuate all passengers as quickly as possible while keeping all of them safe from falling into the freezing waters of the Hudson as the plane began to quickly sink. Sully worked with his crew and New York Marine rescue crews to save every single passenger on board. Although 5 were seriously injured, they all eventually recovered, and Captain Sullenberger was hailed as a national hero, even as some questioned his decision. But Sully was justified in the end in his decision, as the National Transportation Safety Board decreed in an investigation several months later that he made the correct call to bring the plane down on the Hudson, saving over 150 lives in the process. Thanks so much for joining me once again for A Moment in History.